Devon Edger Hughes is an American professional wrestler. Hughes wrestled for Extreme Championship Wrestling from 1995 to 1999 and for World Wrestling Federation Entertainment from 1999 to 2005 as D-Von Dudley. He began performing with Total Nonstop Action Wrestling from 2005 to 2014 as Brother Devon and Devon. Along with his tag team partner Mark Lo Monaco, Hughes is one half of the tag team Team 3D, characterized by their unorthodox ring apparel and usage of tables in their matches. Team 3D is one of the most successful tag teams in the history of professional wrestling, recognized by TNA as 23-time World Tag Team Champions, and were the first tag team inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. Including his 2 TNA Television Championship reigns, Hughes has held 25 major championships between TNA, WWE, ECW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Professional wrestling career, training and independent circuit. Hughes was trained by Johnny Rodz and began wrestling in 1992, competing in independent promotions in the Northeast. He engaged in a rivalry with Latin Lover that was continued in many different promotions. Extreme Championship Wrestling. On April 13, 1996, at Massacre on Queens Boulevard, Hughes debuted in Extreme Championship Wrestling as D-Von Dudley. His character was based on Jules Winfield, the Bible-quoting hitman portrayed by Samuel L. Jackson in the 1994 film Pulp Fiction. Dudley feuded with the other members of the Dudley family, claiming that their comedic antics were not the way true Dudleys should act, and faced Boo Boo Ray Dudley on numerous occasions, defeating him at Ultimate Jeopardy, but losing to him at November to Remember. Dudley eliminated dancers with Dudley, Dudley, and Chubby Dudley before joining forces with Boo Boo Ray, Big Dick Dudley, Sign Guy Dudley, and Joel Gertner. Known collectively as the Dudley Boys, D-Von and Boo Boo Ray dominated the ECW Tag Team division, winning the ECW World Tag Team Championship a record 8 times and defeating teams such as the Eliminators and the Gangsters. D-Von, Boo Boo Ray, and Gertner all achieved a degree of infamy for their vitriolic interviews, which antagonized audiences to a point of near riot. World Wrestling Federation Entertainment. In mid-1999, Bubba Ray and D-Von left ECW following a pay dispute and debuted in the World Wrestling Federation in September. Throughout 2000 and 2001, the Dudley Boys engaged in a 3-way feud for the World Tag Team Championship with the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. The feud incorporated the first triangle ladder match at WrestleMania 2000, and 2 tables, ladders, and chairs matches, the first at SummerSlam in August 2000 and the second at WrestleMania X7. While they were initially villains and were known for driving women through tables, the Dudley Boys became fan favorites in early 2000. In early 2001, they were joined by Spike Dudley. In late 2001, the Dudley Boys won the World Tag Team Championship, which they unified with the WCW Tag Team Championship during the Invasion, a storyline where the wrestlers from World Championship Wrestling and Extreme Championship Wrestling invaded. Following WrestleMania X8, the company divided the roster into 2 brands, Raw and SmackDown. In May 2002, the Dudley Boys were separated when Hughes was drafted to SmackDown, and Bubba Ray ended up on Raw. Hughes became a villainous reverent character alongside his proto-copyright copyright Deacon Batista. Though the gimmick was a launching platform for Batista's career, it didn't last long and Hughes was betrayed by Batista. He did pick up one of his most memorable individual victories of his WWE career when he pinned Triple H on May 9, 2002 on SmackDown. After Chris Jericho hit Triple H with a briefcase, he eventually was reunited with Bubba Ray and Spike on November 17, 2002 when he returned to Raw. The Dudley Boys became a staple in the Raw Tag Team division over the next 16 months, feuding with teams such as 3 Minute Warning, La-Ra Copyright Assistance, and various combinations of the Un-Americans. They held the WWE World Tag Team Championship several more times before being traded to SmackDown. On March 22, 2004 in exchange for Triple H. On May 27, 2004 the Dudley Boys kidnapped Paul Bearer, the manager of Paul Heyman's enemy The Undertaker. On June 27, 2004 at the Great American Bash, The Undertaker defeated the Dudley Boyz in a handicap match. They also won the WWE Tag Team Championships one more time but were upset by the high-flying team of Paul London and Billy Kidman. In July 2004, the Dudley Boyz reunited with Spike. For the remainder of the year, they assisted Spike in his matches for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. In early 2005, the Dudley Boyz were removed from WWE television and sent to Ohio Valley Wrestling while the WWE creative team attempted to devise a storyline for them. The Dudley Boyz returned to WWE television in June 2005 in order to promote ECW One Night Stand, an ECW reunion show. In the weeks preceding One Night Stand they, along with several other ECW alumni, vied with former WCW President Eric Bischoff and his anti-hardcore Crusaders. At One Night Stand on June 12, the Dudley Boyz defeated Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman in the main event. On July 5, 2005, WWE announced that it had opted not to continue contract renewal negotiations with the Dudley Boyz. In August 2005, they were issued with legal notices instructing them not to use the name Dudley. Soon after, the duo announced that they intended to pursue legal action against WWE. Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, Team 3D. No longer able to use the ring name D-Von Dudley, Hughes adopted the ring name Brother Devon Dudley, while Low Monaco became Brother Ray Dudley. The team also trademarked the Dudley Brothers, and Deadly Death Drop. In August and September 2005, Devon and Ray made several appearances on the independent circuit, most notably Hardcore Homecoming, an unofficial ECW reunion show organized by ECW alumnus Shane Douglas, a frequent critic of WWE and Chairman Vince McMahon. On September 21, Hughes signed with Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, under the name of Brother Devon. Devon and Ray debuted in TNA on the October 8 episode of TNA Impact. Team 3D quickly established themselves as fan favorites by confronting NWA World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Jarrett and his allies, the NWA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted. Team 3D defeated AMW at pay-per-view events in November and December, but failed to defeat them in a title match at Final Resolution on January 15, 2006 due to the interference of Team Canada. Devon and Ray continued to feud with America's Most Wanted and Team Canada over the following months. On the April 13 episode of Impact, an attempted ambush by Team Canada was foiled by the debuting Spike Dudley, identified as Brother Runt. Devon and Ray then took time off to tour Japan, before returning to compete in tag team matches on Impact. And soon began feuding with NWA World Tag Team Champions the Latin American Exchange. At Final Resolution, they beat Lax by disqualification. Subsequently, they lost to Lax in a Little Italy street fight at Against All Odds, and a ghetto brawl at Destination X. At Lockdown, Team 3D defeated Lax in a steel cage match to win the NWA World Tag Team Championship. They feuded with several tag teams before losing the belts to Samoa Joe at Victory Road. At Final Resolution, they teamed with Johnny Devine and took part in an Ultimate X match against the Motor City Machine Guns and Black Machismo. They won by taking the X Division belt down with a ladder while the referee was not looking. At Against All Odds, a rematch took place in a hardcore street fight. Early in the match, the Motor City Machine Guns were taken out with 2-3DS, leaving Jay Lethal to single-handedly save the X Division. As a result of their loss at AAO, both Devon and Ray were subjected to weigh-ins prior to their matches. If they weighed in over 275 pounds, they would be unable to compete. During this time, they engaged in a feud with Christopher Daniels under his Curryman gimmick, and Shark Boy. At Destination X, Team 3D was given an ultimatum when Curryman and Shark Boy won an elimination match to choose the stipulation for each of the wrestlers' matches. If they weighed in at over 275 pounds, the duo would be fired. But if they weighed in under, they would never again be subjected to the weigh-ins. They were able to weigh in under the mark, but Team 3D would end up losing to Curryman and Shark Boy after a blinded Ray accidentally helped Curryman hit Devon with the 3D. On the November 28 episode of Impact, Team 3D turned into fan favorites, joining the front line. After appearing to join the main event Mafia, they double-crossed them, and attacked along with the frontline leaders Samoa Joe, AJ Styles and Rhino. At Lockdown, Team 3D won the TNA World Tag Team Championship and retained the IWGP Tag Team Championship against Beer Money, Incorporated. At Slammiversary they lost the TNA Tag titles to Beer Money, Incorporated, and on the July 30 edition of Impact, the IWGP Tag titles to the British Invasion of Brutus Magnus and Doug Williams. On October 18, 2009, at Bound for Glory, Team 3D captured their 24th Tag Team Championship when they defeated Beer Money, British Invasion, and the main event Mafia's Scott Steiner and Booker T in a Full Metal Mayhem Tag Team match. With both the IWGP and TNA Tag titles on the line, they captured the IWGP titles, which were formerly held by the British Invasion. During the following weeks, Team 3D turned heel and aligned themselves with Rhino in a battle against the younger talent of the company. On the November 19 edition of Impact, Team 3D Academy of Professional Wrestling and Sports Entertainment graduate Jesse Neal joined Team 3D and Rhino, and 2 weeks later Suicide joined Morgan, Hernandez and Dinero to level the playing field. At Final Resolution, Morgan, Hernandez, Dinero and Suicide defeated Neal, Team 3D and Rhino in an 8-man elimination tag team match. On January 4, 2010, at Wrestle Kingdom 4 in Tokyo Dome, Team 3D lost the IWGP Tag Team title to No Limit in a 3-way hardcore match, which also included Bad Intentions. When Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff took over TNA at the beginning of 2010, Team 3D's angle with Rhino and Neal was discontinued and they reverted to being faces, while starting a feud with the Nasty Boys, who were a part of the new wave of wrestlers brought in by Hogan and Bischoff. At Against All Odds, the Nasty Boys defeated Team 3D in a tag team match, when Jimmy Hart made his return to the company and interfered in the match on the Nasty Boys' behalf. Team 3D avenged their loss on the February 25 edition of Impact, when Jesse Neal helped them defeat the Nasty Boys in a tables match. On the March 15 edition of Impact, Team 3D and Neal were scheduled to face the Nasty Boys and Hart in a 6-man tag team match, but prior to the match the Nasty Boys attacked Neal backstage and put him through a table. Team 3D found Neal a replacement in the returning Brother Runt, but was still defeated in the match by the Nasties and Hart. However, after the match Neal made the save for Team 3D and helped them put Sags through a table. In May, Ray turned heel by attacking Neal, while Devon remained a face and stood up for his student against his brother. At Victory Road, Devon faced Jesse Neal and Ray in a 3-way match. During the match the members of Team 3D attacked each other, before Neal accidentally speared Devon and was then pinned by Ray. On the following edition of Impact, Devon joined fellow ECW alumni Mick Foley, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Stevie Richards, Rhino, Pat Kenny and Al Snow and TNA World Heavyweight Champion Rob Van Dam in attacking Abyss, Brother Ray and the rest of the TNA locker room. The following week, Ray declined Devon's offer to join the ECW alumni, before TNA President Dixie Carter agreed to give the ECW alumni their own reunion Pia Euro-View event, Hardcore Justice, The Last Stand, as a celebration of hardcore wrestling and a final farewell to the company. However, on the July 29 edition of Impact, Ray decided to join the ECW alumni and seemingly buried the hatchet with his brother. On August 8 at Hardcore Justice, Team 3D, accompanied by Joel Gertner, defeated AXL Rotten and Balls Mahoney, billed as K-Honies, in a South Philadelphia street fight. After the match Devon and Ray were assaulted by the Gangsters. On the following edition of Impact, the ECW alumni, known collectively as Extreme, version 2.0, were assaulted by AJ Styles, Kazarian, Robert Roode, James Storm, Douglas Williams and Matt Morgan of Ric Flair's Fortune stable, who thought they didn't deserve to be in TNA. This would mark Team 3D's final appearance on their old TNA contracts, which expired shortly thereafter. The two then entered negotiations over new contracts. Team 3D returned to TNA television 2 months later on the October 7 live edition of Impact, promising a major announcement at Bound for Glory. At the pay-per-view, Team 3D announced their retirement, but asked for one final match against the TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. Their new multi-year contracts with TNA were confirmed shortly thereafter. At Turning Point, the Motor City Machine Guns defeated Team 3D to retain the TNA World Tag Team Championship, singles competition and television champion, during Team 3D's retirement ceremony on the following edition of Impact. Ray turned heel by attacking Devon, reigniting the feud between the two. The following week, Ray claimed that Devon had gotten weak, since Sabin had managed to kick out of the 3D at Turning Point, calling him the Marty Jannetty and himself the Shawn Michaels of the team. On January 9, 2011, at Genesis, Devon was disqualified in his match against his former partner, now known as Bully Ray, after using Ray's own chain against him. In the following weeks, Devon's sons Terrence and Terrell began making appearances on Impact, and were regularly abused by Ray. At Against All Odds, Devon faced his former tag team partner in a street fight. After Devon's sons interfered in the match, Ray low-blowed him and pinned one of his sons for the win. On March 13 at Victory Road, Devon and his sons interfered in a Falls Count Anywhere match between Ray and Tommy Dreamer, costing Ray the match. On the following edition of Impact, the feud between the former members of Team 3D was seemingly ended as Ray joined Immortal and moved on to feuding with Fortune. In June, Devon entered a storyline where he was saved from Mexican America by D'Angelo Dinero, despite the fact that he had previously declined his help, claiming that he was a bad influence on his sons. Later that month, Devon and Dinero were both entered into the Bound for Glory series to determine the #1 contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, during the course of which Dinero handed Devon a win in a tag team match, but Devon did not return the favor and saved Dinero from a post-match assault at the hands of Samoa Joe. During the tournament, Devon also picked up impressive victories over Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. On August 7 at Hardcore Justice, Dinero defeated Devon in a Bound for Glory series match. At the start of the match, Dinero offered to lay down for Devon, but he refused the offer. On the August 25 edition of Impact Wrestling, Devon was forced to pull out of the Bound for Glory series, after suffering a storyline injury at the hands of Samoa Joe, who had vowed to ruin the tournament. Later in the event, Devon returned to save Dinero from a similar attack at the hands of Joe. On the September 8 edition of Impact Wrestling, Devon and Dinero defeated the British Invasion to become the #1 contenders to the TNA World Tag Team Championship. On September 11 at No Surrender, Devon and Dinero failed in their attempt to win the TNA World Tag Team Championship from Anarquia and Hernandez of Mexican America. On the December 1 edition of Impact Wrestling, Devon and Dinero defeated Inc. Incorporated and Mexican America to become the #1 contenders to the TNA World Tag Team Championship, now held by the team of Crimson and Matt Morgan. On December 11 at Final Resolution, Devon and Dinero failed to capture the TNA World Tag Team Championship. On the following edition of Impact Wrestling, Dinero and Devon's sons Terrence and Terrell joined forces and turned on Devon. On January 8, 2012, at Genesis, Terrence and Terrell turned on Dinero and helped their father defeat him in a singles match. On March 18 at Victory Road, Devon answered Robbie E's open challenge and defeated him to win the TNA Television Championship, marking Devon's first major singles championship. On April 15 at Lockdown, Devon defeated Robbie in a rematch, contested inside a steel cage, to retain the title. On the following episode of Impact Wrestling, General Manager Hulk Hogan announced that from then on the television championship would be defended every week on the program. Devon started his series of defenses by defeating Gunner. During the next month, Devon developed a rivalry with Robbie E and Robbie T, successfully defending the television championship against each of them in singles matches on Impact Wrestling and finally in a three-way match on May 13 at Sacrifice. On the May 24 episode of Impact Wrestling, Robbie E and Robbie T interfered in a TNA Television Championship match between Devon and Garrett Biscoff, causing the match to end in a no contest. Following the match, Devon and Bischoff united to fend off the attack by the two. The following week, the Robbies also interfered in Devon's title defense against Jeff Hardy, causing another no contest. On the June 7 episode of Impact Wrestling, Devon successfully defended the television championship against Robbie E., following outside interference from Garrett Bischoff. 3 days later at Slammiversary, Devon and Bischoff defeated the Robbies in a tag team match. Devon's weekly television championship defenses ended after the June 14 episode of Impact Wrestling, where he successfully defended the title against Hernandez. Devon returned to Impact Wrestling on August 9, when he and Garrett Bischoff unsuccessfully challenged Christopher Daniels and Kazarian for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. 3 days later at Hardcore Justice, Devon successfully defended the TNA Television Championship against Kazarian. On August 29, Devon, still the reigning TNA Television Champion, announced that he had parted ways with TNA, after his contract with the promotion had expired the previous day and the two could not come to terms on a new one. With Devon still being recognized as the TNA Television Champion, on September 15, 2012, he became the longest reigning champion in the title's history, beating Eric Young's record of 180 days as champion. On September 26, TNA officially stripped Devon of the television championship, ending his reign at 192 days. Aces and Eights. On October 14 at Bound for Glory, Devon returned to TNA turning heel, when he attacked Bully Ray and Sting, costing them their tag team match against the heel Aces and Eights stable, who, as a result, earned full access to TNA. Devon, the first unmasked member of Aces and Eights, wrestled his first match back in the main event of the following episode of Impact Wrestling, losing to Sting via disqualification following interference from Aces and Eights. On November 1, Devon and Bully Ray faced off in the main event of Impact Wrestling, however, the match ended in a brawl between the Aces and Eights and the TNA locker room. On November 11 at Turning Point, Devon was defeated by Kurt Angle in singles match via submission, despite the rest of Aces and Eights trying to interfere. On the December 6 episode of Impact Wrestling, Devon defeated Samoa Joe to win his second television championship, after Aces and Eights member DOC hit Joe with a ball-peen hammer. 3 days later at Final Resolution, Devon teamed with DOC and two masked members of Aces and Eights in a losing effort to Kurt Angle, Garrett Bischoff, Samoa Joe, and Wes Briscoe. On the December 20 episode of Impact Wrestling, Devon successfully defended the television championship against Kurt Angle, following interference from Aces and Eights, Garrett Bischoff, Samoa Joe, and Wes Briscoe. On January 13, 2013, at Genesis, Devon defeated Joseph Park in a non-title match. On the February 7 episode of Impact Wrestling, Devon and DOC were defeated by Bully Ray and Sting in a tables match. On March 10 at Lockdown, Aces and Eights, consisting of Devon, DOC, Garrett Bischoff, Mike Knox, and Mr. Anderson were defeated by Team TNA, consisting of Sting, Eric Young, James Storm, Magnus, and Samoa Joe in a lethal lockdown match. On the April 18 episode of Impact Wrestling, Devon was scheduled to defend his television championship against Magnus, however, he was attacked by DOC and Knox before the match could start. Samoa Joe was then awarded the title match in his place, but Devon retained the title after interference from Aces and Eights. On June 2 at Slammiversary 11, Devon was originally booked to defend his title against Joseph Park, but Park was attacked by Aces and Eights before the match and Devon was awarded a count-out victory. Following this, Park's brother Abyss returned and defeated Devon to win the television championship, ending his reign at 178 days. On the August 22 edition of Impact Wrestling, Devon was pinned in the 5-on-5 match against the main event Mafia by AJ Styles and per match stipulations was, in storyline, fired from TNA as a result. Hughes later confirmed that his departure from TNA was legitimate. TNA Hall of Fame, Devon returned to TNA as a face, at Slammiversary 12, getting inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame with Bully Ray as Team 3D. It was later announced that he has returned to TNA full-time. Devon made his return to Impact Wrestling, saving Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer from Rhino and Ethan Carter 3, which culminated in Carter receiving a 3D through a table. At Bound for Glory, Team 3D defeated Tommy Dreamer and Abyss. The event was the final contracted date for each member of Team 3D. Independent circuit. Devon appeared at House of Hardcore 3, where he and Matt Hardy defeated Homicide and Eddie Kingston. He also came out later that night during Bully Ray's segment involving Tommy Dreamer and Spike Dudley, teasing a confrontation with Bully only for the two to hit Dreamer with a 3D. On June 6, 2014, Devon was schooled to face Abyss and Tommy Dreamer along with Bully Ray. However, Ray was pulled out of the event, so the main event was Devon and Dreamer vs Rhino and Abyss. Dreamer and Devon won the match. On June 7, 2014, he and C.W. Anderson defeated Eddie Kingston and Homicide at House of Hardcore 5. On July 26, 2014, Devon defeated Abel Andrew Jackson at Reality of Wrestling Summer of Champions. On August 28, 2014, Devon and Dirty Don Martini lost to the Gotch family in a three-way tables match at a Newfoundland promotion, Cutting Edge Wrestling. On September 6, 2014, Devon made his debut in Wichita Falls, Texas for Pure Action Championship Wrestling's Brawl in the Falls 3, winning and becoming the promotion's final heavyweight champion. Personal life: Hughes' father, Preston, was a bishop, and his mother, Renee Washington, is a pastor. Hughes is happily married and has 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl. He was previously married and has 3 sons, twins Terrence and Terrell, and Matthew. Their names are tattooed on his upper biceps. Terrence and Terrell appeared on the February 3 and 10, 2011, episodes of TNA Impact, and the February 13 pay-per-view Against All Odds, taking part in the storyline feud between their father and the Pope. He attended the Elwood Union Free School District. He opened a smoothie shop, 3D's Power Blendz, in Melbourne, Florida, and with Brother Ray, opened Team 3D Academy of Professional Wrestling and Sports Entertainment in Kissimmee, Florida. In wrestling finishing moves: Pilly Driver, a Euro ECW, Saving Grace, Testify, a Euro WWE, Snap Scoop Power Slam, a Euro WWE. Used as a signature move in ECW/TNA, Thrust Spinebuster, a Euro TNA. Signature moves: Corkscrew Back Elbow Smash, Diving Headbutt, Inverted DDT, Leaping Shoulder Block, One-Man Concerto, sometimes with trash can lid on opponent's ear. With Brother Ray/Bubba Ray Dudley, Double Team finishing moves: 3DA Euro Dudley Death Drop/Deadly Death Drop/Cutter combination, sometimes onto a table. Double Team signature moves: 3D2, a Euro Dudley Death Drop 2/Deadly Death Drop 2/Neckbreaker combination, Aided Superbomb, Wasp. Dudleyville device. Managers: Signed Guy Dudley, Cousin Steve, Johnny Rodz, Stacy Keibler, Deacon Batista, Johnny Devine. Entrance themes: World Wrestling Federation Entertainment, Eyes of Righteousness by Jim Johnston and Maddie Mills. Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, Watch Out by Dale Oliver, Devon by Dale Oliver, Dead Man's Hand by Dale Oliver. Championships and accomplishments: All Japan Pro Wrestling, World's Strongest Tag Determination League, a Euro with Brother Ray. Cauliflower Alley Club, Other Honorary, a Euro with Bubba Ray Dudley. Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW World Tag Team Championship, a Euro with Bubba Ray Dudley. Hustle Super Tag Team Championship, a Euro with Brother Ray. New Japan Pro Wrestling, IWGP Tag Team Championship, a Euro with Brother Ray. Northeast Wrestling, New United States Heavyweight Championship. Northern States Wrestling Alliance, NSWA United States Heavyweight Championship. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, PWI Feud of the Year, Aces and Eights vs TNA, PWI Match of the Year with Bubba Ray Dudley vs Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys in a Triangle Ladder Match at WrestleMania 2000, PWI Match of the Year with Bubba Ray Dudley vs Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys in a Tables, Ladders, and Chairs Match at WrestleMania X7, PWI Tag Team of the Year, a Euro with Bubba Ray Dudley, PWI ranked him number 25 of the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2012. PWI ranked him number 362 of the top 500 singles wrestlers of the PWI years in 2003. Squared Circle Wrestling, 2CW Tag Team Championship a Euro with Bully Ray. Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA Television Championship, TNA World Tag Team Championship a Euro with Brother Ray, NWA World Tag Team Championship a Euro with Brother Ray, TNA Tag Team Tournament a Euro with Bully Ray, TNA Hall of Fame. World Wrestling Federation / World Wrestling Entertainment, WCW Tag Team Championship a Euro with Bubba Ray Dudley, World Tag Team Championship a Euro with Bubba Ray Dudley, WWE Tag Team Championship a Euro with Bubba Ray Dudley. World Wrestling Organization, WWO International Championship. Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards, Worst Gimmick Aces and Eights, Worst Worked Match of the Year TNA Reverse Battle Royal on TNA Impact. References. External links. Devon on Twitter, Devon Hughes at the Internet Movie Database, Wrestling Profile.